While riding in the car, the woman suddenly noticed something strange. The road ahead was completely clear, yet a van was crawling along in the lane, stubbornly staying side by side with a big rig next to it, refusing to let anyone pass. She quickly urged her husband to honk the horn, but instead of speeding up at the sound, the van driver suddenly slammed on the brakes. Thankfully, her husband reacted fast, narrowly avoiding a collision. This was a highway, after all, and their car was packed with their whole family. Too shaken to honk again, the husband had no choice but to follow patiently behind the van. When he saw the big rig finally overtake the van, and other cars began passing it too, Jack seized his chance, switched lanes, and sped past. Glancing over, he saw the van driver was an old man. Jack immediately made a gesture, implying the guy had a few screws loose. He then hit the gas and left the van in his dust. Little did he know that one impulsive act would bring unimaginable disaster upon his family, because it wasn't long before that same van came speeding up behind them. It felt intentional, like they were being targeted. Realizing they'd provoked a case of road rage, Jack quickly steered the wheel and pulled into a rest stop. He thought they'd finally shaken the van, but to his shock, moments later, the van pulled into the same rest stop. Jack, completely unaware, casually went to use the restroom. As he was walking back from the bathroom, he spotted the van driver talking to his wife, and it didn't look friendly. Seeing this guy was clearly looking for trouble, Jack warned him to stay away from his family. He then tried to gather everyone and leave, but the man blocked their path. He demanded Jack apologize right then and there, or he'd make him pay dearly. Hot-headed and young, Jack didn't hesitate. He threw a punch. As he walked away, he tossed back a final threat, then swaggered back to his car. Muttering curses, he drove out of the rest stop. He assumed the confrontation was over, but they hadn't been back on the road for long. He spots it in the rearview mirror. The van is catching up. It's clear they're being targeted. Thinking fast, Jack exits the highway, but the van follows him off the ramp. This guy just won't let up. Jack changes course, trying to lose his tail. He even blows through a red light. Finally, he turns down a deserted back road, thinking he's shaken the van. But his daughters in the backseat soon see the same van from the highway is back. Fearing for her family's safety, Dee immediately goes for her phone to call 911. But Jack thinks she's overreacting. He pulls over to the shoulder and storms over to confront the driver. Jack asks if the guy has lost his mind, demanding to know why he's following them. He then threatens to call the cops, just to scare him off. But the old man isn't intimidated. He snatches Jack's phone right out of his hand and tosses it into his own vehicle. Furious, Jack tries to grab it back, but he's no match for the old man's strength. Seeing her husband in a scuffle, his wife rushes out to help, only to accidentally yank his pants down and nearly get hit by a passing car. Realizing this old man is dangerous, Jack quickly tells his wife to get back in the car. He approaches again, this time to apologize, asking politely for his phone back, but the old man says it's too late for apologies. He rolls up his window, then gets out from the side door. Jack watches, unsure what he's doing. Seizing the chance, Jack sneaks closer to retrieve his phone, but the next moment, the man pulls out a container of acid. Jack's sure he's dealing with a lunatic. He sprints back to the car, still hoping to drive away, but moments later, their tires sink into deep mud. Before they can even process what's happening, the old man blocked their path with his van and suited up in protective gear, fighting for survival. Jack had to get out and push the car. He took a hit from the door, but managed to free the vehicle from the mud. As the crazed old man closed in, Jack scrambled back into the car to shake the lunatic for good. His wife floored the accelerator, terrified he might chase them again. Luckily, after entering a residential area, the van never reappeared. They thought they'd finally escaped, but Jack's phone was still with the old man. Even worse, using smudges on the screen, he cracked Jack's passcode, found his parents' home address, and planned his revenge. Meanwhile, Jack went to the police station, reported being hunted by the road rage driver, and requested an escort home. Fortunately, the driver didn't show up on the way. After dropping Jack at his parents' house, the police left. Little did Jack know, the madman was already inside, posing as an injured passerby to win the elderly couple's sympathy. Then, as they let their guard down, he brutally choked the old man. The grandfather struggled, but was no match for his attacker, and was dragged upstairs. His wife heard the commotion, thinking it was just house cleaning. Suddenly, the door burst open, and her husband was thrown inside. Jack, arriving home, suspected nothing, but when they knocked, the house was eerily quiet. Sensing trouble, Jack rushed to the side entrance and unlocked the main door from inside. At first, everything seemed normal, but when the girls went upstairs, their grandparents weren't in bed. Before the kids could process this, a noise came from inside the room. The terrified kids immediately told their mom what happened. Jack rushed upstairs as soon as he heard, but the moment he reached the top, he was ambushed by an old man in a hazmat suit. The sudden attack sent Jack tumbling down the stairs. Seeing this, his wife quickly slammed the door shut. Meanwhile, the old man slowly advanced toward Jack. Scared out of his wits, Jack scrambled to his feet and ran, but the main door was locked from the inside. Where could he possibly go? Just in the nick of time, Jack noticed the side door to the living room was unlocked. He bolted through it without a second thought. Soon after, the old man emerged from the same door. Fighting for his life, Jack dashed into the woods, but he couldn't run forever. To rescue his trapped family, Jack waited for the deranged old man to look away, then sneaked back to the side of the house. He started climbing a rack attached to the wall. Halfway up, his foot slipped. He almost fell. Luckily, with help from his wife and mother, Jack managed to make it to the second floor. Before long, the police arrived. Thankfully, the family escaped without serious injury. The road rage old man had vanished without a trace. But just as the two girls were being put into the police car, the old man suddenly reappeared. He put on his mask and disappeared back into the forest. A month later, life had seemingly returned to normal for the family, but Jack was clearly traumatized. He'd peer outside every time his wife left the house, checking for any suspicious vans. Only then would he let her go. Even for the kids' school run, he insisted on walking them right to the school gate. He thought he was just being paranoid. But then, one day, right after dropping the kids off, a familiar van came out of nowhere. It sped straight toward him without warning. It seems the past had come back to haunt him. In the end, Jack still couldn't